Guys, good Friday afternoon. My name is Jerry Miller, and welcome to the I Love CVille Show. We're live in Charlottesville, in Albemarle County, across Central Virginia, the Commonwealth, the country, and the world on the I Love CVille Network. We're going to spend the next 30 to 40 minutes with a friend of the show, Kerry Rock. This gentleman, a man about Central Virginia. Whether it's philanthropic, nonprofit, charity work, whether it's supporting restaurants and breweries and wineries in the area, whether it's just being a friend, a husband, a father, Kerry Rock has a lot of positive things going for him. Thank you to Ting, Crazy Fast Internet, for being a part of the I Love CVille Network. We love Crazy Fast Internet by Ting here at I Love CVille. Judah Wickhauer, director, my friend, if you can go to the studio camera, and let's welcome Kerry Rock to the show. How are you, Kerry?
Doing pretty good. Thanks for having me on today.
It's our pleasure. We will talk shop, and shop for us is beer, wine, being a dad, being a husband. Before we do that, how about an intro for the few in the community that do not know you? You're very popular.
That's very nice.
For the few who don't know you, who is Kerry Rock?
Hi, everybody. Kerry Rock, longtime Charlottesville resident since 2005, Army veteran. More importantly, husband to Colleen Rock, father to Amelia Rock, and co-founder of Do Good CVille. We formed about 2 years ago to just take our philanthropic work to a more centrally located naming structure, as opposed to just saying, hey, can you help Colleen and Kerry do this good thing? We found it's a little bit easier just to actually have a name and give us more ownership of the idea of helping in the Central Virginia region.
So Do Good CVille helps other nonprofits actualize their dream or mission?
Correct. In whichever way they need. We've helped people with online media, event hosting, and fundraising. Or if you just need volunteers, we've been able to bring volunteers to events, getting the word out. Really, it's whatever somebody needs, we try to help as best we can.
Janet Knight is giving you some props. The veteran of the restaurant industry, whether it's Rapture or Blue Moon Diner or the Tin Whistle. Janet, we love you. Johnny Ornelas, the owner of Guadalajara, and El Mariachi watching the program.
Ah, nice.
Examples of some proof of performance that Do Good CVille has done for the community.
One of our biggest things is the winter wear drive. We started this 6 years ago. Specifically was aimed at helping the Haven get clothing during the winter months for the homeless population. That started out with having beers at Champion and throwing out some flat tables to now the Sprint Pavilion provides their location. We were able to help over 200 members of the homeless population this past November with getting regular clothes, warm weather jackets, sweaters, boots, things like that. So helping them through the cold months, helping them actually see like someone cares about them, someone values them as a human. And we're not looking down, not saying, oh, here's charity. It's like, hey, I value you as a human being. I want you to be warm. I want to see you in spring. And seeing people still on the mall now, on a rainy day out there, I can ID at least 5 of the jackets that we've given out.
That's awesome.
That are out there being able to help people. So seeing that. Another one of the major efforts that we do is the graveyard cleanup for the veterans. It's coming up this Memorial Weekend, May 29th, where we clean up Oakwood Cemetery. Hands on the gravestones, knees in the dirt, scrubbing the moss and dirt off the gravestones, remembering those that have given everything for their country and showing honor to them and their memory.
That's big time.
That one hits 100%.
Yeah, especially for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's a Army.
Yes,
Is it
sir.
Army?
Yeah.
We were giving you some props on the morning show. Keith Smith and Lee Elberson are Marines. Of course, they got the jab from the Marines to the Army, and then they wanted me to relay to you, thank you for the service and for the commitment to the community. Is it your mother-in-law watching from Colorado?
Leslie Todd.
A wonderful son-in-law from Leslie and Dave Todd in Colorado. Leslie White Cosner.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Kerry Rock, for everything you do. This question's coming in. This is from Laura. Ask Kerry why he and his wife started this in the first place.
Very good question. Thank you for asking that one. And I feel like a politician for saying that. But going through life and just living it for ourselves, for me, it felt selfish. I used to be that guy. And then there was no return on life. It didn't feel good being who I was. And then as I started giving back to the community, doing the coat drive, doing nonprofit fundraisers for Sarah, Ishan Gala, the Haven, Water Boys, it just gave more value to living each day. And then with my wife coming into the fold and then amplifying that with her love and her managerial skills and whatnot. Because honestly, without her, I would not be able to focus on what we actually need to do. So just giving back and making your life be more than just about you. To us, that's what it's about.
What do you got cooking coming up? You got a trip to Africa on the horizon?
Next year, most possibly.
Yeah.
And running for being a team captain for the Conquering Keeley campaign right now. I think we've got a link actually to share if we could. They have their open enrollment for veterans. For those that want to join the Waterboys program and the Conquering Keeley program that takes disabled and non-disabled veterans over to Africa to be part of the fundraising portion of Waterboys, helping with the water crisis in Tanzania, Ethiopia, and Kenya, while also challenging them to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. So I think the link is somewhere around. Hit on that, put your application in if you're a veteran and you want to be a part of that.
This is an interesting comment that's put on. Kerry, give us more information into what you're doing in ceremony and with tombstones at graveyards. And you have photos that you've rotated on screen. Continue rotating those photos on screen because multiple people are asking about this.
Cool. So we have this Memorial Weekend. That's actually happening on Saturday, May 29th at the Oakwood Cemetery here in downtown Charlottesville at 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. We're gathering volunteers to wash the headstones of veterans here in Charlottesville. Myself, my wife, and Chris Long have been doing this for the past 5 years. Officially, the Chris Long Foundation is a sponsor and co-founder or co-host of the event itself. We've partnered with Hathaway Cleaning Products. They're going to be donating the official cleaning products. Same stuff that's used in Arlington, we're going to be using here in Charlottesville. We team up, we attack the whole graveyard, specifically targeting the veterans' headstones, cleaning them of all the moss, debris, anything like that, and using the actual standard cleaner that's used by, like I said, those in Arlington to make sure that we're not damaging the headstones in any way. We're following all local guidelines. With that, we also have to follow within the CDC and COVID guidelines, so we're having pods, if you will. Although I see restrictions are loosening as Charlottesville's setting the standard. I think there's 0 new new inpatients.
We're crushing it.
We're doing a great job.
Albemarle and the city of Charlottesville deserve some props.
They really should. And it's a personal choice, and I hope your personal choice is getting vaccinated. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
But I'm doubled up, and I'm happy about it.
I got the Johnson & Johnson. I feel more confident than
you're
ever.
Lucky. You're lucky.
Yeah. Marilyn Brzozowski. Kerry, you are truly inspiring, and of course, Colleen only makes it that much more special. You're absolutely amazing. Colleen is watching. Hello, Colleen.
Hey, baby.
Welcome to the show. Marilyn and Jimmy Grove giving you guys some love on the show. Why don't we talk about that? Because you've got some takes on this. You're certainly one that is a proud American. You're certainly one that, you fought for the country.
I did fight in Iraq, yes.
Yeah, you fought for our country. So liberties and freedom mean as much to you, if not more to you, because you're willing to risk your life for liberties and freedom and what this country stands for. So where I'm going with this is, how do you think we've handled all, COVID, this pandemic, how we've gotten out of this? The unfortunate aspect of it is masks and the vaccination have been so politicized, as opposed to just being a way for us to get over the hump.
Yeah, this is funny. I was actually having a conversation with one of my best friends, Jamie, about this specific topic this morning. And it gets radicalized to where you're either one or the other.
Yeah.
And that seems to be a lot of things in the political sphere and just the world sphere. We don't have the ability to have a conversation, just different opinion. Certain things, no. Like, if you like Nazis, no, you're wrong, and you should get punched in the face.
Sure.
Like, that's it. But it's like there's other things like vaccination. Having a child now, I understand some parents are afraid of certain things on that. The restrictions of freedoms, as some would refer to it as, for requiring a mask to come in, I get that. You're being told to do something. You feel that is an infraction upon your rights as an American. But the idea of the vaccination, the idea of doing something that may be an inconvenience to you, you don't see the good it's going to do for those 2 people down the road. No, you may never feel the pain of COVID. You may never lose somebody you know. You may never have the cough or anything like that. But you could carry it on for that next person. That person could then take it, when they think they're good and go see their grandmother, and their grandmother takes it, and you now have been a part of that bad chain. If all you're being asked to do is put a mask on and chill out for a bit, I don't see the difficulty in that. But again, I'm former military, and I'm used to saying that here's the mission. The mission is the most important thing. And the mission right now for the Americans and the world itself is beating COVID how we know how to right now. You had the same thing back in 1918 during the Spanish flu, and we lost 17 to 75 million people in the world. We're right now in America at about 600,000 people that have passed away. India is losing 4,000 a day.
Yeah.
And if all we have to do is a little bit of an inconvenience of wearing a mask in public, limiting our interactions outside of the house, I'm okay with us.
Small price to pay.
Small price.
Yeah, and this is coming from someone who fought in Iraq, I'm sure, and I don't want to assume, that's why I'm asking the question. Michael Dillard and Star Bowman, welcome to the broadcast. I would imagine, and if I should not be asking this, please tell me, but I would imagine if you were in Iraq, can you put in perspective the gear and what you were wearing and covering your face and the temperatures?
Temperatures, yeah. The highest temperature I've ever experienced over there was 143 degrees.
143?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're wearing body armor and stuff like that. I don't think that compares.
Okay.
Because I was a soldier, I signed a contract that said I want to go do this.
You signed up for it. That's
I
the
understand.
difference. Okay.
I understand I'm giving away certain things in my life for service. We're asking the American populace to give up a couple freedoms, as some would say, or some inconveniences of that, for something they can't see. Some people, like I said, are never going to see the impacts of COVID aside from the economy, the markets that we're dealing with, and then also what's happening. Like, you can't go out to dinner, you can't go out to lunch, stuff like that. They will never see that. That's where the limitation is. Well, and they may never know if it will affect them, and they will never know if they actually made a difference. But what they can say is if they do put on the mask, they do get the vaccine, they can say, at least I stood on the side of setting a proper example for others around me.
Well said. That's why I wanted to ask you about that. Well said. Albemarle in the city of Charlottesville, Albemarle County is #1 in the Commonwealth.
Really?
With vaccinations. The city of Charlottesville is #3.
Who are we behind?
I will look when I ask this question. I know Albemarle's 1 and city of Charlottesville's 3. Here's the question I have for you. You're a leader in this community. How do you think this community, and I'm calling it Central Virginia, which is 300,000 people roughly, how do you think we manage this pandemic?
We've managed it as a community from all different backgrounds. Everyone's handled it in their own way, but I don't believe we've seen outright violence or anger or disruptions that you've seen in other markets and other communities. Our community bands together. We've dealt with enough crazy things in the Charlottesville history. And this, I feel that we're handling it well. I mean, the numbers speak for itself. Numbers don't lie. Some people may begrudge it. Some people may not like that they are getting a vaccine or like that they're wearing a mask, but they're doing it because they know it helps their community. So that loops back into the whole heart and soul of Do Good CVille. We're here for the community because the community takes care of itself. And just happy to be a part of that. Like, our logo is Do Good CVille because we can. Don't have any red tape. We don't ask for many permissions. We just see that something needs to be happening, something good that needs to be happening, and we just do it. And you look around Charlottesville, you see a lot of people like that. Tanisha Hudson, that's a friend of the show. She saw a cause. She didn't ask for much permission. She just went and did it. You've got the Buck Squad down on South First Street in gunfights. They are trying to mediate anger and violence in the streets, literally getting shot at to stop the shooting. They saw an issue. They jumped up and went after it. Legacy Eats out in Nelson County. They've donated 30,000 meals in the past year because they saw a need and they just did it. That's what keeps us going, seeing that there's people still out there like us that just see a problem, knock it in the face, and stand over and saying, I'm going to beat you.
I love this guy. Steve Easton loves you too. He says, well said, Rock. That's from Steve Easton. He said, big, huge facts from Kerry Rock. That's Steve Easton.
Steve Easton is of Legacy Eats.
Daniel James, welcome to the broadcast. If you want to give Kerry Rock some props, just put it in the comment section on any social media platform you're watching this show upon. I want to ask you so much.
Please do. That's why I'm here.
Fatherhood.
Oh.
How did being a dad, we're both young dads, being a dad, your beautiful daughter, you said is 15 months old?
Yes, sir.
How did being a dad change your perspective when it came to this pandemic? Because the Kerry Rock I knew probably 10 years ago probably would not have given an F about it, right?
I had the jitters. Because
you had a feeling of invincibility 10 years ago. Is that fair?
That's a fair assessment.
And so did I. Yeah. And now that we have, because we were young, now that we have beautiful better halves and kids, my feeling of invincibility has completely eroded away. And now I'm just like always thinking about Lauren and Trey and their health, everything, being a dad, a husband. Question for you, how did it affect you?
It was difficult, to say the least. As our daughter was born first week of February. So we want to do the safe thing, not go out for the first 6 weeks and whatnot until her immune system built up. But right with that 6 weeks hit, at the end of that, we're like, all right, we're going to go to 3 Notch, we're going to go to the restaurant, we're going to go out. COVID hit.
Yeah.
So then we're locked down another 2 months. I was getting the jitters, wanted to get out, as I'm a very outgoing person.
Yeah, you like people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And luckily I have a more intelligent, better half who has had the safe side of us, so we need to be smart about this, and we were. It definitely taught me a lot more patience. That's one thing I could say I walked away out of. When we walk away from COVID, when we look at it in the rear view, it will have taught me a lot more patience, a lot more reserve in our actions, a lot more appreciation for what we have right in front of us right now.
I was having this conversation with my neighbor. His daughter just is about to turn 3.
Mm-hmm.
So for the last 15 months, a 3-year-old has essentially known a COVID world.
Yeah.
And this past weekend, my neighbor and his wife took their 2 daughters. The oldest is barely 3, about to turn 3, and the youngest is your daughter's age.
15, yeah.
And they went to First Watch in Barracks Road for brunch. And the not yet 3-year-old said to Dad and Mom, "You mean we could sit inside the restaurant and eat?" Like, she was astonished, shocked, surprised that they could have brunch inside the restaurant.
Just imagine when we don't have to wear masks again. That world, my daughter right now is only, when we go out.
She's only known masks.
She's only has.
Does she wear a mask at 15?
No.
Okay.
I don't. CDC
you don't have to.
Yeah, CDC doesn't recommend that.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's only known the social distancing. She's only known masks. She's only known limited going out. We've gone out every now and then, but it still feels weird. We still feel a little guilty taking her out, doing certain things.
Would you feel safer or less guilty? Is your wife fully vaccinated?
Yes.
Okay, did you feel safer or less guilty when you 2 got fully vaccinated, or is it strictly tied to the fact that your daughter has not been vaxxed?
It was more waiting for me to fully get vaxxed, because I got sick on my first day, so I had to push mine back. It was more us following the science that the vaccination, once you've got it 2 weeks after, then you're safer, the infection rate goes way down, everything else like that. It was more wanting to be within those norms, but then also, you do anything long enough, that becomes your normal. And our normal now has been stay at home, order guads, and watch some movies.
Nice.
And, oh yeah, man, they know our order. The second they hear our voice, they're like, yep, it's us. We'll be there in 10 minutes. But it's like anything that becomes normal after a certain amount of time. So for us, it's just relearning how to go out and do those things. And it's great that a lot of the locations were ramping it within the CDC guidelines and Virginia State guidelines to let people still go out. Like King Family Vineyard, great example. They opened up the polo fields, socially distanced your tent spaces, so you could still come out, enjoy some great wine, but then also be outside, but in a safe way. So it's good to see some of those businesses doing that. Champion, when they set up all their tables outside, social distancing, follow the rules, come out, have some great beer. Doing those things, and now they're back open this week. They opened up the bar service again, so celebrating to that.
Marilee Martis Higgs.
Yes.
Awesome, Kerry. Good for you, sir. You rock. If you want to give Kerry some props, put it in the feed here. A lot of positive props. Dave Todd, is that your father-in-law?
That is.
Daniel James, Dave Todd, Michael Dillard. You have 7 states watching you here on the program. I got to ask you of other trends that are positive or concerning coming from COVID. It seems from my perspective, you follow this as well, we know we have an amazing place to live in this Charlottesville area. You have a University of Virginia where students can go to school for 4 years undergrad and then graduate school where they're falling in love with Charlottesville. Mm-hmm. And now they're getting nostalgic, realizing they have freedom to work from ISPs, can keep their big city job, but moved to Charlottesville. This Zoomtown phenomenon.
I was listening the other day when you were talking about that.
Yeah, so dude, and your family's benefited from this. My family's benefited from this. The cost of living is going through the roof.
It is.
So folks that have homes are getting some more money. Okay, folks that don't have homes that are looking to get into the market are struggling to get into the market because the cost of a first-time home is higher than it's ever been here, and there's more competition than it's ever been.
Yeah, a starting line for someone coming out of college or someone that's been saving up, it's not even that the race is hard, it's that starting line for them is getting so pushed forward.
Exactly.
To where, like, you saved up $50,000, cool. What's that going to get you 10% on a $500,000 house when you thought you were going to have 20% to put down? You know, you got 10% on a house that you hope keeps that appreciation value in 5 years when you want to move, when you have your first kid and you meet that life partner.
Okay, so he clearly gets it. He obviously, he's an investor of real estate. He clearly gets it. Are you concerned about this and how this trend is impacting this area? Because the fear is, and you know this fear, that this is just going to turn into a rich white playground.
We'd be lying if we said it wasn't already. And you look at the separation of the people that service our food, the restaurants, and they're making $2.13 an hour plus their cash wage, tip them an extra $5. So they're not making the proper living wage. They're making a minimum wage at that, and they're also being put in horrible environments. One of the big things that we're seeing right now in the employment industry within the food service is that people aren't coming back, and restaurant owners are wondering why not. And one of the big things is, like, if you're paying an hourly wage like that, those employees, they were receiving the unemployment benefits, which assisted them in moving forward. But they were also given a year where they couldn't work in the restaurant. And those people are go-getters and workers. So they just figured out something else to do. They
found new skills.
Yeah. And they got new skills and they got out of the industry. And they don't want to go back to a place where you're working 12-hour shifts, hoping that you get good clients come in and tipping you well. When you have to live for when you base your salary off of tips, that leaves such a level of instability in just your mental health, and you don't want that. You take a little pay cut, have some mental stability, and that's where they're going right now.
Perfectly well said. He's exactly right. That's exactly what's happening. Okay, so how do you fix this? How do you get people back to working? I'm sure you've thought about this.
In the food industry, I would say you have to come up with not a minimum wage, but a living wage for those people that.
So you say raise the wage and that'll get people back to working.
I doubt I'm getting a free beer anywhere out of this one, but yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like, show respect to the people that are going in there day in, day out, the line cooks, the chefs, the waiters, the waitresses, the baristas. Like, pay them what they need to be paid. And you'll get good people. When you pay good, you get good.
Well said. Wilson Ritchie put out a Facebook post earlier this week. I know you admire Wilson. I admire Wilson. $50 to $70K for an executive chef. He's searching for an executive chef. He said it's $50,000 to $70,000. Please, someone apply. Begging for application.
I don't know what a normal wage for an executive chef is.
Neither do I.
But 50 to 75 is above the national average for income. So, I mean, I already got a good job. If not, I could make some pancakes and bacon.
Kerry, right. Get them in the
pour you some black coffee. There you go. Let's do it.
So I'll throw this to you. The University of Virginia is admitting more students than they've ever admitted before. They had 48,000 applications for the fall semester, which was a UVA record for the fall.
Okay.
Realtor Magazine, so that's the young end of people coming to Charlottesville in the area, taking up inventory. Realtor Magazine said that the Charlottesville metro area, the second most popular in America for baby boomers to move to. So that's the other side of the spectrum. Students coming here more than ever, baby boomers coming here more than ever. The middle part of the spectrum, a company like Dexcom is setting up one of its headquarters in Derry Central.
Oh, nice.
And Dexcom could potentially bring out-of-the-market employees at high-dollar wages to Charlottesville to service one of their new headquarters. There's the middle of the spectrum.
Why do you estimate they'll be out of Charlottesville employees?
Well, they've said that they're going to bring some out of market. I hope to God that they hire within market because that's going to help with the cost of living and keeping the money within the community. But they said they're going to bring some folks out of the market to work here. So I guess my question for you is, if we have more students coming here than ever, we have more baby boomers moving to Charlottesville area more than ever, and we have from young professionals, middle-age standpoint, big-time employers attracting people from outside the area to move here to take up a job at a headquarters like Dexcom, like I just outlined. What's this community going to look like, do you think, a handful of years down the road?
The biggest factor in this is if the housing market can catch up. If the builders can catch up, if the inventory can go up to a point, because right now, obviously, you know it, being a real estate guy, I know it, looking for another house. Like, there's no inventory whatsoever on the market right now that's attainable for those younger students that are coming. You say 48,000 applied, the student population's what, 22, 23,000, something like that. Not everyone's getting in. But yes, you're gonna have an influx of people that fall in love with Charlottesville. That's great. You have Dexcom that's gonna provide the jobs. Great. You have the baby boomers that are investing in that. You would think all of that would provide the builders the incentive to build at a rate to where they can push it out, not at high market rates, but at attainable market rates, so that they can make profit by volume instead of profit by individual purchase. And I'd hope that's how the market would correct. I don't see it correcting for more than 3 or 4 years, but...
What did you guys do with your housing situation?
So we sold the lake house and Colleen's house, and we ended up keeping the big house on Henry Ave.
Nice.
It's just there was nothing that met our needs, and we were stressing out trying to, and you look at what's available out there more and more, and then you start like taking something off your required list, and then you're compromising. So what we're planning on doing is just reinvesting in the house we have that we do love. It's just we'll need to make it bigger.
Is Colleen good with this being home long term?
She can't see me.
She's watching. She's watching.
We had to talk that Charlottesville is going to be our home for at least the next 2-3 years. But nobody saw COVID coming. Whatever life hands us, I know that we will tackle together. And if that means we tackle it in Charlottesville, great. That means we tackle it down in Florida, great. As long as I'm with her and Amelia, that's what we're going to do.
I love it. I love it. So this comes in via Twitter. Kerry, if we raise the wages at the restaurants, wouldn't we risk having less jobs available at the restaurants and menu prices going up?
Yeah.
From Jackson on Twitter.
That's the double-edged sword of it. You know, everything costs money. But the quality of what you'll be provided, if you properly take care of your employees, always outweighs the negatives. You have happy employees. You're a man about town, obviously. Mm-hmm. You can go to a restaurant, you can get, a steak cooked perfectly at 2 different places. You have a waiter or waitress that's brought in at a low wage, not trained properly, and just like, here's your meat. Or if you have someone that's paid properly, that loves coming to work, enjoys the staff, enjoys the management, enjoys the experience, and wants to share that experience with you, they're a happy employee. They're like, oh, well, this is our perfect filet mignon cut. Actually, we've got it at this farm here locally, and I would suggest that you'd pair it with this wine. Oh, hey, let me get our sommelier over here to help you out. That experience is worth the extra money, and I believe the market will respect that.
Well said. Chris, is it Kempre? Watching the program. Aaron Marie Davis giving you some props right now. Amanda, hold on, I'm going to get your name. Amanda Burns, class act right there. Kerry Rock, that's from Amanda Burns. Questions or props, if you want to give Kerry props or ask him a question, put them in the feed. This is a good one. Kerry, this is a question on the feed. Kerry, how will Charlottesville change or be different when the students return to school this fall? I don't think it's going to be changed or be any different, do you?
The city deals with the influx as it is. Certain restaurants shut down for the wintertime. They shut down in the summertime when the students aren't going to be there. The corner is going to see the biggest influx. The housing market, I think, is the biggest one that you're going to see. You're going to get those parents that their kids in a 4-year program, when they come in. Yeah, the market's already, not fun. Sorry. There's hardly anything out there right now, and there's going to be even less come August when the parents send their kids out and they don't want to pay the rent for 3 years, 1 year in-house.
He's right. He's 100% right about this.
But they're just going to scoop up whatever is available and then turn into investment property in 4 years.
Johnny Ornelas owns El Mariachi and the Guadalajara at JPA. He's got a comment for you.
Oh.
Johnny says, I understand and agree paying better, but when you do that, pricing has to go up and will impact customers and will impact living expense. We'll fix on the short end, but will turn out the same in the long run, jacking up living expenses.
He would know better than me as a business owner. I understand there's not a simple fix, or we would have it already. This is a compromise between the workers, representative of the workers, representatives of the business owners, and representative of the community. What will the market bear is always going to be the answer. Like if there's a certain wage, like maybe it's not 15 an hour, maybe it's 10 an hour. I don't know. I'm not a business owner. I'm a worker, but there's a wage that I'll take to do a great job. And there's a wage that I'll take, then like, okay, I'm coming in and you got my 8 hours.
Chris Sempre, Chris, am I saying your name right? He said, how do you become so awesome, Kerry, Ron?
I surround myself with amazing people.
It's his wife. It's his wife. It's Khalid.
Surround yourself with people that aren't exactly like-minded, but are doers. They're not spending their Saturday just sitting on their couch chugging beers.
There you go.
They're out like running a 5K. They're taking care of their kids. They're doing business plans. They're volunteering. Surround yourself with people like that, and you don't need to look at me. Just look at yourself and be happy. This
is from Grace, who watches our show all the time. She says, Jerry, ask your guest his take on the future of CVille.
CVille.
Why don't I throw CVille and 10th and Page in there? Because the future of CVille and 10th and Page, I think, could be potentially very nebulous. 10th and Page, in particular, because of Dairy Market and Dairy Central, and CVille because it's potentially the last quarter of true development in the city of Charlottesville. The unfortunate aspect of both is both 10th and Page and CVille are historically African-American neighborhoods in the city, one of the few that we have left in the city.
I unfortunately believe it's just going to get swallowed up.
Me too.
You look at what's probably going to happen on 10th itself. 10th is already a nice area, but you have the area between 10th and Barracks. Not 10th Barracks, 10th and the corner.
Yeah.
In that area. As Dairy Central expands and as the housing market goes up around there for the rentals or the ownership, property value is going to go up. People are going to be interested in selling or renovating, and it's going to crawl. And unfortunately, that's going to hit low-income housing.
I think you're 100% right.
It's just... It's the downfall of progress. It's the idea of we can, but should we? What we should do, reinvest in what's already here. Fix up whatever you want to call low-income housing or affordable housing. Find what's affordable in our current market for those people that need help. And more than just the white roof, red brick, Section 8 housing and stuff like that. Treat them like equals. Don't treat them like you're trying to help somebody. Treat them like, I want you to be where I'm at. Let's do it together.
This topic came up. Keith Smith, I'll get to this comment here. This topic came up and comes up often, how this area, our home, is just turning into, say, San Francisco or Silicon Valley. Came up on this morning's show as well. Is that where you think we're going?
I don't see it not. The only way I see it not happening is if the market corrects, values
plummet.
Drop, and like if Amazon opens a new center or something, draws people away from Charlottesville. But Charlottesville has this weird magnetism for big companies, and
it's because of UVA, right?
It can be. You get your degree here, you fall in love with the area.
You stay.
It's kind of hard not to like Charlottesville.
I stayed in after UVA.
If you make enough money.
True.
If you make enough money, Charlottesville is a wonderful, wonderful place. But that's where, unfortunately, nonprofits like Do Good and others, that's where we step in. And we try to do what we can in our community to just make it a great place.
Keith Smith has this comment that I will relay on air. Something I missed sharing this morning on Real Talk. At last night's Planning District Commission meeting, Councilor Michael Payne shared that Charlottesville PD responded to a total of 103 shots fired and serious gun violence incidents. This is an unprecedented scale of gun violence in the city of Charlottesville. If you think it's appropriate for this convo, I'd love to hear your thoughts on gun violence in Charlottesville. That's from Keith Smith.
So
what do you think is happening?
Retaliatory attacks. You have one that starts it and it just rolls downhill. I think it was back in 2013, 2014, we had 3 shootings and attempted two successful shootings and a third one that got stopped, and it was retaliatory attacks. At that time I protested the hey ho, let it go. And that's just the idea that you have just street fights that are happening. But like that's specifically, I mentioned them earlier, the Buck Squad. The stat you said 100 or so shots fired. Now, those may be between 10 different incidents. Like, there's one that down here, there's 20, 30-something shots fired.
One of them, they found 53 shell casings.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, that's serious.
That's someone reloading, or that's multiple people involved, and that was one way.
Yeah.
So that was planned, and that concerns me because that was only a couple blocks from where we're sitting right now.
Yeah.
But
literally.
It is, and it's dangerous, though, that it's not being attacked head-on, or it's not in the public view. We have these things that are happening, and you have nonprofits that aren't funded. The Buck Squad is just out there funding themselves, getting involved in these things, and they're stopping them. They're stopping the actual fights. They have had guns pulled on them, and they don't back down. They have had professional mediation to teach them how to do this, and they do it successfully.
You're saying the Buck Squad in this area,
They roll out. They've
had guns pulled on them.
Yes, and they've mediated that. They've had their life put in somebody's hand on the other end of a gun in Charlottesville. They didn't back down. They stood up to it. They used the mediation techniques they were taught, and they stopped the violence. So what we're seeing is just the ones that these nonprofits, it's the nonprofit that is stopping this. It's not Charlottesville PD. It's not a commission by our mayor or city council. It's the civilians saying, fine, we'll do it, and we'll take it up.
Why do you think this isn't getting more press notoriety? Why aren't there people in the streets protesting this record level of gun violence?
Where's the media on it? Where's the media covering it? We do have the stats. It is there. It's not the headline.
Okay, let me play devil's advocate with you for the sake of a talk show.
Please.
There is, on the heels of the murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis, there's been a tremendous defund the police movement. Is what's happening in Charlottesville almost a conundrum?
I don't believe it's related.
Okay.
I believe that the idea of defund the police goes back to our earlier conversation where it's either one or the other. I believe this is a completely misunderstanding of what the word defunding means.
Okay, I agree with that. So my question was different than that.
Sorry.
You and I are of the same mindset. Defund the police basically means let's allocate money to, say, a mediator or a therapist for a domestic dispute, as opposed to two police officers in gear with some serious guns coming up in a cruiser.
Yeah.
That's one example.
I fully believe that there are situations where you need heavy armament, you need backup, but that should be used in a minimalistic fashion, called out when it's needed.
I agree. So here's where I was going with this. Where I was going with this is, are the people that traditionally would be up at arms and protesting right in front of our studio on Market Street, are they not doing that for fear of the perception would be we need to get more allocated resources to the police to keep this gun violence down? Because the Charlottesville, I know years ago, if we had this kind of shots, guns fire and shots like this, there would be a protest in front of the police department.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah? Are the folks that otherwise would be protesting, are they not doing that because then their actions could be interpreted, the police need more resources, look what's happening?
It's the one or the other. There's no gray, there's no, I can be defined with multiple different terms. I'm either this or I'm that. To where if you say, yes, I support defund the police, you're like, oh, well, you're a crazy leftist. Or if you say, no, I support the police, oh, you're crazy on the right. I personally believe, I support the police. I think they do a wonderful job in the situations they are put in. I do not fully support the policing, the training that we give. We train police the lowest of any industrialized country. We also put our police in situations that is almost unbelievable. In a 12-hour shift, an officer will go to a traffic stop. They'll go to a domestic dispute. They may go to a murder. They may go to petty theft. Now, you think the emotional toil that takes, think of that roller coaster all day long, and we expect our police to handle that exactly, clear-cut, with a level head at all times. That is a heroic job if they're able to pull it off. And the hundreds of thousands of police officers that do that every day, hats off to them. Now, those that can't, this is a tough job. But that's where I would understand the demilitarization of the police. Why are we not investing in more mental health care workers with a badge, a social worker with a badge?
Well said.
Just someone that doesn't need to roll up on a kid that's truant in body armor. If the kid's late for school or something like that, a truancy officer in plain clothes and a badge, hey man, get to school, here's your warning.
Steve Easton, I agree. He says, well said. See, I think that's what the defund the police movement is about. And unfortunately, just like masks and just like vaccinations, it's been politicized and manipulated and turned into this like very nebulous movement that in a lot of ways has lost its focus. So I think what you said is 100% right. So multiple people are saying on the feed now, and I see it from Jennifer, see it from Christopher, and I see it from Laura, then what should be done? Laura says, I'm a mom. I'm scared. My kids are in these streets. What are we doing to keep this from happening?
The sad thing is I don't know. You lean on your neighbors. You be a good neighbor. You be there. Like, my street on Henry used to be one of the bad streets in town when I first moved in there.
Henry Avenue?
Yeah. In 2014, ordered some stuff from Target. The delivery company called, like, all right, cool, we're going to deliver it. I'm like, well, I'm at work. Just leave it on the porch. He's like, I've been delivering for 20 years. You don't leave stuff on your porch on Henry Ave. I'm like, no, go ahead. Just do it. And it's just meeting your neighbors, showing them you care about them.
Was your stuff okay?
Of course it was.
Yeah.
I've never had anything happen. For a while, like before my daughter was born and before I was married, like, left my door unlocked all the time. Like, if you're afraid where you live at, I'm sorry. But I don't know how to answer that.
Tad Abbey, Kerry Rock for city council.
It would put too many laws and restrictions on me.
What do you think is the image of Charlottesville outside of Central Virginia?
I think it's conflicted. I think some people know us for what happened in August in 2017, if I'm getting that correct.
That's right, 2017.
I don't think people know what Charlottesville is anymore. I think what we want it to be is one picture. I think what we hear, like, we're talking about gun violence, we're talking about, wage difference, housing markets that are benefiting those with extra money and not those that actually live here. We're conflicted, but we love it. And it's difficult right now to fully answer that question.
Because you're saying we're conflicted, but we love it, and it's easy for us.
We know there's a problem, but we don't have an answer.
Right, and on top of that, Charlottesville's been pretty darn good to both of us.
It has been. We're affluent
We've been able
white
to find
men.
work. Yeah, exactly. We're white men. We're able to find work. We have privilege. We know we have privilege, and we're able to build a family and provide for our family, own real estate. So we're fortunate here.
Yeah.
How do you look at the privilege and what you have going for you?
I am thankful every single day for what I have with my wife, Colleen, my daughter, the safety we have, financial security, mental security, physical security. But I'm thankful for that, but then I don't take it for granted. That's where we empower Do Good CVille even more, to where if we have enough, then anything that's extra goes out to the community for a fundraiser or to purchase food, to purchase clothing, things like that. If you have privilege, use it for the betterment of others. Accept it for what it is. I'm not sad or angry at myself like I'm a white man doing this. Like, I'm sure I'm going to piss a lot of people off and it's going to be a lot of comments about this bullshit. But yes, white privilege is a thing. Yes, I have it. But the fact that you can acknowledge that and use that for the betterment of something else, that's the only answer I have.
Well said. I think that's a great way to look at it.
If you have an advantage, use it for the advantage of others.
There you go. TJ Drake giving you some props. Heath Forbes giving you some love right now. There's 9 states watching Kerry Rock on the broadcast right now. A lot of topics that I want to continue throwing to you. We're 45 minutes in. Can we go longer?
Please.
What'd you make of the mayor's poem?
I thought that might come up. So we're making reference to Mayor Nakia Walker's statement, or her poem.
Do you want to give the background?
It's just running through my head for a second to give me 4 seconds so I don't screw this one up.
Sure. I could give the background if you want some time to think.
No.
Okay.
No. She's frustrated, and she has every right to be frustrated. Mm-hmm. But I don't believe she has the right to be frustrated as she was in a public venue like that. If anything else, at the end of her poem, maybe another stanza that says, but I have the power to change it and I'm going to.
And this is how.
Exactly. You are the leader. If you are a private citizen, you have every right to do that. The second you become an elected official, there is no privacy anymore. You don't have a private Facebook page. You are an entity of the city. You are an elected official. You are the one that we entrusted to do something. And yes, you are correct in all your statements in regards to that there is inequality. There is a disparity between race and wages, like we've stated in everything. But you are the one that was elected to do it. Give us a plan. If there's something in your way, tell us. We as a community will help you move it. We'll be there together. We've demonstrated numerous times in the show already that this community will come together when we have a leader, when we have a plan, when we have an idea. We can do that. So I'm not going to condemn anybody. She's angry, and like I said, I'm a white dude in Charlottesville. Right. I will never understand.
What's it like to be a black woman growing up in difficult circumstances in the South, in Charlottesville? She's first generation college in her family.
I'm sure she's a badass.
Yeah. I mean, she is a badass. She has so many qualities of being a winner. I mean, she ran as an independent. She's the first black woman mayor in Charlottesville history. I mean, she basically said during A12, I'm going to get on council and make a difference, and I'm going to unmask the illusion, and she's done that. So many things, and so many people say I knock her constantly on the show. I think she is a badass. She's a winner. She did it as an independent. She went to college. Like you said, I can't imagine what it's like being a black woman in the South, growing up in a low-income situation. She has so many badass qualities to her. It's just, I thought the poem was not indicative of what a mayor should do.
This is more than just her. It's any elected official. You are a representative of your people. And that means a lot more than I think our elected officials are taking it for. You were put in your place to do something for your constituents. It's not for your party. It's for who voted you in.
Well said. Well said. Leslie Todd says you're on fire right now. She's watching, and this is his mother-in-law. She's watching is it Fort Collins?
Yes, it is.
And Fort Collins. Multiple people are saying that you should get in a position of leadership. Would you ever do that?
If the variables were right, maybe. But right now, my focus is Colleen and Amelia.
Yeah.
And do good and do what we can in the community. And if do good turns into something more, that's great.
Keith Smith, who's watching the show, gave us these
the buzzers.
We're going to do a trivia contest here with Kerry Rock on the show in a matter of moments. I want to talk more Do Good CVille, though. What are we missing? What needs to be highlighted? What should be out there?
So we got one other event. This one's just we're taking part in. There's a national relay coming through Charlottesville on Monday. It's called Carry the Load. About 10 years ago, 2 veterans started this on the East Coast, and they take the flag down from the West Point Cemetery, and they road march it from West Point, New York, down to Fort Worth, Texas. So a 3,000-mile-long walk, and it's coming through Charlottesville. Gets in town May 10th at 3 p.m. at Kohl's. I'll be leading Team Red, White, and Blue, the Student Veterans of America, UVA chapter, Charlottesville, Albemarle Fire Department, Charlottesville, Albemarle Police Department members will be taking part in this walk. It's 3 sections. So Kohl's to Best Buy, and we leave Best Buy at 5 p.m., and we get to Giant on Pantops, and at 7 p.m. we leave Giant on Pantops and go to the East Riviana Fire Station. I'm glad that you gave me the ability to bring this up, because each time we've done it, people think it's a protest. This is not a protest. This is just bringing a little bit more of meaning to Memorial Day, because these marches, there's now 4. One started up in Washington. You've got Central Mountain Time Zone, all now have their own national marches. They all meet up at Fort Worth, Texas, at the same time on Memorial Day. So it's like 4 national relays coming apart. So we're not protesting. We are just showing honor to the veterans, the first-line responders. We had someone walk with us that lost their mother to suicide the year before, and she just wanted to say, be a part of something. It's anybody that wants to be part of the community to join us in walking. You'll see us on 29, definitely during rush hour. Hopefully the fire department doesn't put a fire truck on us this time.
You're going to love this. Yannick, watching in Florida, the chef. So Yannick and his beautiful wife, Nikki, entrepreneurs and staples here in the Charlottesville community, they're now living in Florida.
They are.
And Yannick says, Kerry, I'm watching your every move right now. He also says you're doing a hell of a job on the program, and he's watching from Florida. Casey Christensen.
My sister.
Where's she watching?
Corona, California.
She says she's so proud of my brother. Ted Abbey Ted Abbey says, Amelia says, run, Dad, run. Is Ted your friend?
Tad Abbey, yeah.
Tad is your friend. All right, let me throw this to you. Marilyn is saying, Kerry, you and Colleen need to move to Felton. Your leadership would be a great benefit here. People are recruiting Kerry away from us. I like having Kerry and Colleen here in Charlottesville. I really do like them here. Anything else before we get to some trivia questions for you?
Just another rehash. Check out. Oh, snap. Yes, actually, one huge thing.
Ooh.
So, with the Memorial Day cleanup that we're doing,
Okay.
we are partnering with the Chris Long Foundation.
Okay.
Now, we know some people want to take part in it, but they're still afraid with COVID. They're just concerned with COVID and being around people, but they still want to be a part of the event. We're opening up a fundraising portion that's going to benefit the Fisher House of Richmond. They're looking to build a second house. We're trying to help with some fundraising. Chris Long Foundation is going to match any donation up to $2,500 that's made between now and the event on May 29th. To donate, just go to the Chris Long Foundation. I believe we've got the link to share in the feed, chrislongfoundation.org. Donations made on that page between now and May 29th will be matched up to $2,500, benefiting Central Virginia specifically with the Fisher House organization.
It's big time.
It is. And it's an organization, if you're not aware, the Fisher House organization provides housing on or near VA or military hospitals, medical facilities, so that family members that are coming to visit a wounded soldier or a soldier that's going through surgery and whatnot, they have a place to stay, rent-free. So there's 91 houses across the country right now. They've saved over $500 million in money that would have been spent in the local economy on housing and whatnot, or renting hotel rooms and stuff. So they're doing great organization, doing great work for veterans.
I love it. TJ Drake is watching. TJ says, treat people the way you want to be treated, regardless of race, creed, religion, or political affiliation. Kerry and his organization live by that, and I hope the rest of Charlottesville will follow his commitment to this community. I love you, brother.
Oh, I love you too, my man.
Tommy Kinsel.
Up at Crutchfield, yeah.
Great work, Kerry Rock. Chris says, I'm super proud of you for doing this, dude. You're a very honorable guy. We are literally not going to get to all these comments for Kerry Rock. I am trying. He is a big-hearted individual, and so is the entire Rock family. This was going to be a 30-minute interview. It's 54 minutes, and that's because the dude is so dynamic, and he can talk and pontificate on just about any topic tied to this community. Keith Smith has got a jab for you. He says, Semper Fi. Over you.
I'll leave you a box of crayons, buddy.
Yeah, he said he'll leave you a box of crayons, Keith Smith. Rock, Keith. We're going to take Keith Smith's buttons here, and we're going to play a trivia game. So Kerry is going to play without competition, so you cannot lose this.
This is a good game already.
This will be questions tied to you. We want to use this new buzzer because we got it today. So while you're not competing against anybody, before you give the answer, if you could ring in the buzzer.
Let's just try.
Yeah.
Okay, it's working.
Okay,
right, it's not rigged.
We're going to do trivia on the network and on the show moving forward as a way to kind of just finish the program. Some questions for you. Are you ready, my friend?
Please.
Okay, here's the first question, and it's right up your alley. Because one thing I know about Kerry Rock is he loves a cold beer. My friend, what is the oldest and still active brewery in Central Virginia?
Central Virginia. Star Hill.
Star Hill is the second
Dang.
oldest. What do you know this? Oldest but still open and active brewery in Central Virginia.
That's none of the downtown ones. I do not know.
South Street.
Okay, see, that's a trick question because it's different owners.
South Street, that's true. That's true. Now owned by Blue Mountain.
Correct.
By Taylor, right?
I would assume.
Yeah. South Street was founded in 1998.
Yeah.
Star Hill was founded in 1999.
So it's still close.
Yeah, still close. South Street is the oldest but still active brewery in Central Virginia. I've been told, and tell me if you've heard this, I've been told that there was another brewery before Star Hill, and this brewery eventually turned into Star Hill. That was on West Main Street. I've been told it was Blue Ridge Brewery or Blue Ridge Beer Company?
That's way before my
That's
Charlottesville
before my
time.
time, too. Anybody can offer any perspective on that. The first brewery to service Charlottesville or Central Virginia, was it Blue Ridge Beer Company? I think it was. However, from an active standpoint, South Street, founded in 1998, Star Hill, founded in 1999. I got another question for you.
Go for it.
This question came up this morning. Did you watch this morning's show?
A part of it.
Did you watch the end?
No.
Okay, good. All right. What 8 counties touch Albemarle County?
Oh, you asked this question back in the days of your trivia.
I did.
Okay.
You have a good memory.
So we've got, well.
You want the dry erase board?
You know what?
I can get you the dry erase
for
board.
kicks and
Studio
giggles.
camera, Judah. Here's the dry erase board.
This is going to be bad. I am. Okay.
Kerry Rock doing I Love CVille trivia here on the I Love CVille Show. The question is, there's 8 counties adjacent to Albemarle County. Name those 8 counties. He gets, Kim Martin confirmed. This is what I love about social media. She says the first brewery in Central Virginia. Kim Martin, was it Blue Ridge Beer Company or Blue Ridge Brewing Company? And Kim Martin, was that located on West Main? Can you offer me more perspective on that, Kim? I would love more perspective. That would be amazing. Kerry Rock is writing down the 8 counties adjacent to Albemarle right now.
See, I'm going back to my DOC days, and there's a prison in all of them.
Oh. DOC days. Did you have to visit the prisons?
Oh, yeah. I was the IT guy for Department of Corrections for 2.5 years, where we actually went inside the facilities. And fun fact, there's a school inside of every Virginia penitentiary, federal, state penitentiary. That's where students can get their GED, and then they have facilities where they can do online courses as well. So I've got Buckingham, Fluvanna, Culpeper, Nelson,
Buckingham, Fluvanna, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Albemarle.
6, 7, 8.
I know people online are yelling right now, like,
Yeah,
this
multiple people are putting in answers to the feed right now, literally. I can tell you. Tell me when you want me to relay it to you. So far, you've got them all right.
All right, give me one. I'm gonna phone a friend. So
Yeah, phone a friend.
Whatever the first comment she got.
6, 7. So do you have Louisa?
Yes.
You have Louisa. You have
right
Buckingham.
there.
He has Buckingham. He has Fluvanna. He has Louisa. Do you have Orange?
Missed Orange.
Orange is the other one. Greene County, Rockingham County, Augusta County, Nelson County, Buckingham County. I'll give you guys the 8. If you want a good question for the weekend, Augusta County touches Albemarle, Nelson County touches Albemarle, Buckingham County touches Albemarle, Fluvanna County touches Albemarle, Louisa County touches Albemarle, Orange, Greene, and Rockingham. So they're the ones.
Nice. One more?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did I say Augusta, Rockingham, Nelson and Greene? That's 4. Buckingham, Fluvanna, Louisa, and Orange is 8.
Dang.
So those are the 8. I got another question for you.
What you got? Okay, this is better.
Okay, this is right up your alley.
Clear off the whiteboard.
Oldest restaurant in the city of Charlottesville. Whoa. Still active.
Okay, I'm gonna ask for one clue.
Sure.
Is it on the downtown mall?
It is not on the mall. Did you think it was C&O?
It's actually gonna go with Sal's.
Sal's is the second oldest on the downtown mall.
Okay, so not on the mall.
Finazzo family actually owns the building Sal's is in. The Finazzo family, I believe they're 30 years plus in the downtown mall. C&O is the oldest on the downtown mall. It's not on the mall. The oldest restaurant in the city of Charlottesville is not located on the mall. And this restaurant is still active and in operation. Kim Martin says Star Hill used some of their equipment to get started. It was a restaurant brewery. Blue Ridge Brewery was located in the Star Hill space on West Main. Damn, Kim Martin, you are on fire right now. Kim Martin knows the answer to this question.
Dang it.
Do you know Kim Martin?
Oh yeah, her and I worked together on the Sarah fundraising board.
Kim Martin, you're on fire right now. So she has this answer. The oldest restaurant in the city of Charlottesville.
Damn, she's good.
Yeah.
I'm thinking somewhere on the corner.
It is on the corner.
Okay, the Virginian?
It is the Virginian.
Oh, I used to bounce there.
1923.
Yeah.
That's
They
when it
used to have a
was founded.
cigar house in the basement.
Yeah. Now owned by Annie McClure. The first restaurant Annie McClure owned in Charlottesville was the Virginian. Here's a new question. Where's the only escalator located in the city of Charlottesville? The only escalator in the city of Charlottesville. There's only one.
You got some random trivia.
Kim Martin managed the Virginian from 95 to 96. This is the amazing thing of social media.
Have
when
you not
used for
had
the
Kim
good.
Martin on the show?
I have not. I need to. Will you do an intro?
Kim, meet Jerry.
Hello, Kim. Nice to meet you. Kim Martin, you're welcome on this show anytime.
Kim's actually, escalator.
Yeah, the only escalator in the city of Charlottesville.
No clue. I'm like one of the car dealerships?
Michael's, Barracks Road.
Really? That's
Michael's and Barracks Road. Up, you know how you take it upstairs? Have you been in
Yeah,
there?
I've gone there multiple times. I went through a whole quilt making phase. So,
Tad Abbey says Cho. Tad, Cho is in Albemarle County. Tommy Kinsel got it right. Michaels, well said, Tommy Kinsel. Tad, the airport's in Albemarle County, not in the city of Charlottesville. Well played, Tad, right there. New question for you. You ready for this one?
Do it. I'm not doing so well. I haven't even buzzed in.
Where can you smoke a cigarette inside a restaurant in the city of Charlottesville?
Double Horseshoe Saloon.
That's one. There's another one. Double Horseshoe Saloon, you could smoke a cigarette inside the bar. They have a separate ventilation system.
Nope, it's not the VFW anymore. There's no smoking.
No?
Come on, give me a clue.
A bar or restaurant, you could smoke a cig inside the city of Charlottesville. It's not on the UVA corner, this one. You got one of the two, Double Horseshoe Saloon on High Street.
Yeah, my motorcycle group goes there.
Yeah. That could be really smoky in there.
It can be, but they luckily have tables outside.
Yeah. Tad Abbey's got it. Well played, Tad Abbey.
Phone a friend.
Tad Abbey, phone a friend, says Miller's third floor.
Still?
Yeah, you still can. They have a separate ventilation. You can smoke cigars up there.
I used to.
Dude, I love cigars. But a cigar, when multiple people are smoking cigars in a small space, that can get stuffy.
That's like classic 1920s style right there.
Yeah,
It's
that's like
4
Mad
feet
Men.
of smoke up top.
Yeah. I got a few more. People are loving the trivia. A few more for you. You ready?
Yeah.
In fact, why don't I throw one more to you?
There you go.
This is right up your alley. Wood-burning fireplaces inside restaurants in the city of Charlottesville. How many can you name?
All right, so we've got South Street,
Yeah.
Burnett's.
Burnett's?
Burton's.
Burton's? That's Albemarle County. That's Stonefield.
Shite.
You got one of three so far. Does Burton's have a wood-burning fireplace?
I would imagine they look like they would.
I don't know.
Wood burning
Burton's is.
fireplace.
But that is Albemarle County, though. So there's two
C&O?
more in the city of Charlottesville.
CNO?
C&O, okay, so we're torn on this. Would you call a stove a wood-burning fireplace?
Did you have wood?
Yeah, so
Did it go,
you would say yes?
Did it turn into fire?
Yeah, it does. It does. It's in the stove.
I mean,
All right, so we'll include, all right, if Kerry Rock says that it's included. All right, so there's four. We'll include C&O on there, and I'm going to change my log with answers. So you have two of the four so far.
Gosh darn it. But you would think I would know things like this.
Yes, because this is up your alley. We like going and
that
wetting the
means-
whistle.
So it's at one of the breweries.
Well, you got the South Street.
Yeah.
The other two spots are not breweries.
Ah, okay. I'm going to poll the audience.
You're going to poll the audience.
I am failing you, Charlottesville. I apologize.
Tad Abbey's all over this. He says C&O. Name the wood-burning fireplaces in the city of Charlottesville. Folks, South Street, he got right. In fact, that's a double-sided one. At South Street. That one's nice.
That's most sought after seat. Is that just that lounge area?
Yeah, that lounge area is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic. C&O, he got right as well. The one I'm about to tell you, when you hear the answer, you're going to be like, damn it, I should have known it. You ready?
Go for it.
Dirty Nelly's.
I've actually never been to Dirty
You really?
Nelly's.
You would love Dirty Nelly's.
Would I?
I mean, you like to wet the whistle, and you like a sandwich, and you like to talk to people.
There you go.
And
Okay.
it's got a fireplace. The other one's Common House, and I found that out this morning,
Ah,
that they had one.
okay.
That's four.
It's good.
Yeah.
Common House is a nice little spot.
Yeah, it's a nice spot. Common House, more of a private club than a restaurant. Man, many people knew that answer. All right, so my friend, I've enjoyed this time so much so that we went 36 minutes longer, and I think that's a testament to you because you can carry the conversation. How about a final word for everyone that's watching? You have 9 states watching you here.
I'm humbled by the nice comments, by the interaction that we've had with the populace right now, and it's just fun. This is great. Getting to just talk to the community, get our word out. If you can, come join us for the Carry the Load March, May 10th from 3 to 7. You'll find us on dogoodcville.org. Find us on Facebook. please, please, please come and join us for the Memorial Day cleanup on May 29th. That's on Memorial Day weekend, the Saturday, the 29th at 8 o'clock at Oakwood Cemetery. Again, dogoodcville.org. You can register there. And also, you're talking to Sarah Martin. She's doing a fundraising for Walk for Sarah right now. I think it's still active.
Kim Martin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Check her out on Facebook. Check out Sarah CVille. They're doing their fundraising right now for the Walk for Sarah. Great organization, doing great stuff for the community. And also, thank you. Thank you for your time as well. It's been a blast being here, man.
Oh, dude, anytime you want. Seriously, anytime you want, you can come back here. Just say, if you give me like 2 days heads up, we'll put you on anytime you want.
So,
This is Dakota Ray Hill says Kerry's the man, putting CVille on his back. Vanessa Parkhill and TJ Drake are helping you with answers. This one's from Cindy. Jerry, can you ask your guest to show us his fantastic tattoos? We see him on screen, but we can't identify what's on his arms.
which one?
Yeah, he's got a handful of tattoos here. Well, how about I say this?
So we're right
Cindy,
there.
whatever you feel, whatever he feels comfortable showing. Because he's got chest tattoo. Look at that.
So
that's badass.
That's the late great
I'm
Captain
hesitant to say this because we're on microphone and video cameras. Can you actually unbutton that top button right there so we can see this here? I mean, look how badass that is. That is badass right there. Is that on screen, Judah? We got it. That is badass. How long did that take?
Say, that was only actual 3.5 hours of work.
That's 3.5 hours?
Yeah.
Really?
So
Wow.
this one, so this is done. Richmond has an amazing tattoo convention they hold in September and October.
Okay.
It didn't last year because of COVID. But this skull and then my family flower work
Very nice.
was done by an artist named Gene Coffey out of Long Island, New York. And this one was done by Brian Sanchez,
I like that one.
actually from Colombia.
Colleen says, easy, Jerry, easy. when I asked you to unbutton that top line.
So this-
That's funny, Colleen.
This one was most awesome. This one was 5.5 hours, but this
That's dope.
loops right back to the water work that we did in Tanzania. While we were over there, we ended up raising enough money to fund 3 different wells. But when we went over the first day, we got to see a site that had benefited from the water work we'd already done, the town of Mbuku. While we were there, they thanked us, and the elders from the 8 surrounding territories of the Maasai tribe came and welcomed us and honored us and made us members of the Maasai tribe.
Wow.
So Chris Ong, Tom Santee, Elliot Ruiz, all the guys that were there on we were officially made members of the Maasai tribe, and so this tattoo was to honor that with the blue and green flourishes for the water work that we did.
You are A-plus people. You are A-plus people.
Surround yourself with good people, and you'll be the same.
Emily Coleman, hello. My friend, anytime you want, please join us on the show. I sincerely mean that. His name is Kerry Rock. We need a lot more Kerry Rocks in our world. I think you just saw it over the last 70 minutes. This guy is A-plus people. Multiple people are saying on the feed, take it off, Kerry, take it off, including Heath Forbes right now.
He's going to be on the march with us, the leader of local team Red, White, and Blue.
That's a different show altogether, Heath Forbes. A different show altogether. All right, Judah Wickhauer, you are A-plus. Did we get a good photo of Kerry? We did? Okay. My friend, thank you for joining
With a
us.
shirt on, please.
Yeah, with the shirt on. With the shirt on. For Kerry, for Judah Wickhauer, my name is Jerry Miller. This is the I Love CVille Show, where we showcase the best of Charlottesville and Central Virginia. And I think Kerry Rock undoubtedly embodies that tagline and that mantra. You guys have a good weekend. When you're out and about this weekend, be safe, wear the mask, keep it local, and support the businesses we want to see survive this pandemic because they need our support now. Please, I encourage you to do that. You guys have a good Friday. Take care. Good job, Kerry.
Dude,
So
that was fun.
Yeah, you're a natural. And you can like...
You know, it's you pull it out of people.